is the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, and you are listening to Potsy and Tino on the Potsy and Tino Show.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Pots and Pans Network brings you its tag team champions of the world. The road dog, Tino Gray, is not here right now. He's a little bit upset with me. I got to be honest, he's a little bit upset with me, but I am the badass Rob Potsy Potjack. That's right, the Potsy and Tino Show. Our theme song, as always, is brought to you by Adam's House Cats. Called The Wrestling Song. It's available on iTunes for 99 cents. And we obviously are going to get to some of the wrestling stuff. But Tino, who was not here last Monday night, I do want to go ahead and point out, dude was right. He flat out, straight up, said to me, what if John Cena goes heel? And I said, no way, no how, not going to happen, not a possibility, because the best way to run John Cena through WrestleMania was going to be to have him versus Logan Paul, because every single person in that 100,000 person arena was straight up going to boo Logan Paul if they were against John Cena. John Cena was going to get 100% babyface pop. I thought that Drew McIntyre was going to win the Elimination Chamber, and he's here. He's here. I'm sitting here giving it. Oh, he's giving me he's giving me a middle finger in the he's giving me middle fingers. And if you notice, he was stopped for a while there. But Tino, we're obviously going to talk about some other stuff. Do you want another minute to eat? Or do you want me to continue reaping your praises for being correct?
It doesn't happen often.
It never happens. So he got so mad at me today, folks. I'm gonna straight up tell everybody. This morning, him and I started sending text messages to each other about the Elimination Chamber, and obviously we're going to talk about like what's going on with our lives, but wrestling this week, it's such a crazy thing that happened.
Shut up. Mike Turner just put it on screen. Put it on screen. Put it on the screen.
Which one? This one?
No, don't get punched in the forehead. You see it.
No, I got. Hold on.
Michael Turner. It's down. Michael Turner. He's fucking us down. That one.
King Rob. Woo! Bow to Rob.
Bow to the King, Rob, is what he said. Don't be dumb.
Bow to King Rob.
I will hang up on you.
No, seriously though.
Tell him about the text chain. I was gonna kill you. I stopped.
Okay.
Because I knew if I'd have kept texting, it would have been bad.
Tino literally stopped texting me today.
Because I was pissed.
Stopped. He just stopped. And it was because, all right, we know. Should we do this now, or should we do this when we actually move to wrestling? You want it now. You want it now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he wants it now. So
I could pull up a text chain too.
Well, hold on. I know. I get it. So last Monday, when Tino messaged me and said, "Hey, I can't be on the show," we sat there, and how long did we talk? Like 35 minutes.
Yeah, because
Like we always do, because this is what we do. Literally talk pro wrestling for like 35 minutes on the phone. I sat there and I said, "This is what I think is going to happen with the men's elimination chamber." And he goes, "But hey, what if John Cena actually wins and turns heel?" And I said,
he sells his soul to The Rock.
And he sells his soul. And that's literally what Tino said. And I said, why the fuck would he do that? Why in the world would this guy with 25 years in the business of being a babyface ever think about? And
what did
Tino,
I say?
What's that?
What did I say? I said, swerve. I said it just to swerve.
And here's Tino better have his recorder ready for this.
Oh shit! Can we record?
Because Tino's right. Sorry, did you not get it? Did you not get it? Because that's the only time I'm saying it.
You need to no, even better. You need to make a banner.
No, it's over. It's over. No, seriously though. So Tino and I talked about this off air. I don't know if I think I may have even mentioned your opinion on air last week, and I just said I didn't think that it was a possibility. But Tino, we'll get to this, right? We'll talk about this because I mean this is huge. This is the biggest moment in pro wrestling since the way that I look at it is the biggest moment in pro wrestling since Seth Rollins turned on the Shield. It may be even bigger than that. It may be the biggest moment in pro wrestling since Hulk Hogan betrayed WCW and became part of the NWO.
Yeah, that's been all over TikTok too. Michael Turner said Tino Call of the Year. No one out there called that but him. No one in the world would have called that at all. No one saw that coming out of all shock of shock. And Chris Beard said, "What'd you say, Rob? Because your audio cut out when you went like that. So they didn't hear you."
Wait, what?
When you said Tino was right. When you said Tino was right, your audio cut out. That's what Barrett said. He said, "What'd you say?"
Well, I said Tino. That's what I said. Did you get it?
Mm-hmm.
Did you
guys,
get it?
He won't do it. and that's what pissed me. That's when I was like,
hey, no. Seriously. So just so everybody knows, Tino, when now granted, he was not on the show last week.
Mm-mm.
Him and I sat there. And I literally gave him many reasons why it should not happen that way. However, for Tino, and he got so mad because we're talking about a world where I sat there and randomly talked about the Karate Kid kick. And somehow that ended up in WWE, like when it did, right? And then there was the moment when I sat there and Mercedes Moné is sitting there with Chris Statlander, and I looked at you and I said, "Why won't you just die?" And Mercedes Moné sat there and said out loud to Chris Statlander, "Why won't you just die?" Right?
And what was the other?
Was
that the NXT thing?
There was, and the biggest one of them all was when Seth Rollins was out with a bad knee injury. And I said, how about the possibility that he shows up when Triple H is going, this is NXT, and he beats Triple H down. And nobody, and Tino, you know this. Nobody, no pundits, nothing. No Dave Meltzer, no Ross Sapp, whatever. None of them sat there and said anything about this. I sat there and said, wouldn't it be awesome if Seth Rollins beats down Triple H when he's saying this is NXT, and what happened?
Mm-hmm. And
I want to hear you say it.
And this,
I want to hear you say it because I'm going to give you your comeuppance here.
Okay. You what did you say? You said that what made you almost say what I said you always say when you that made me mad? Or
no. I want you to say about the comeuppance when it was Seth Rollins showing up with Triple H.
Oh, you called it. You called it.
And I was the only one.
Mm-hmm.
And so Tino is mad at me because I was trying not to give him his comeuppance on our text message because I wanted to give him his comeuppance right now on the show because he deserves it. And he didn't. He wanted to be mad at me because I wouldn't give it to him. Hold on, I wouldn't give it to him. I would not give it to him while we were just talking, me and him, because I wanted it to be special. So here's the deal, folks. Tino, flat out, last Monday, sat there when he was not able to be on the show because he had that other thing going on. Flat out said to me, what if John Cena is the bad guy? And I said, what? There's no way. And the Rob means no way.
No, the Rock said there was a way.
No. The Rob.
The Rock, okay.
The Rob said there's no way. This is a possibility. There is no way that John Cena is turning heel. And I even gave you multiple ways while we were talking on the phone as to what would make, and you said to me, you go, you know what, that makes a lot of sense. Mm-hmm. But you know what? And here's where you get your comeuppance on this, Tino. It isn't always about the cents. It's about the dollars.
What's best for business?
And I can tell you right now, I was down in South Carolina. I did not get to see everything in the moment as it was live. But I do know that going into Friday, because the PLE was Saturday, right? Going into Friday.
I know who you can say. It was supposed to be someone else.
WWE had, I don't know if it was leaked. I don't know if someone got a hold of it. But Drew McIntyre was listed as the winner of.
They had it penciled. They said it was penciled in.
It was penciled in. And here's what made it even crazier. Are you ready? He was the first motherfucker out of the goddamn thing. And you're off screen because you're making a drink, aren't you?
Yep. It's been one of those days.
Well, but that's just it. He was penciled in to win. And so I've got a couple questions as we get to it. I don't want to sit there and break this down and do it all now, but
we'll do it later.
But I hearing that he was penciled in to win, it literally lined up with what I was talking about when you and I were on the phone with each other, which was Drew McIntyre would make the perfect foil for Cody Rhodes and be the perfect guy to be the guy that The Rock would think would be the perfect stand-in. And I bet this is what they shot to the internet to get everybody to believe it so that they could sit there and do this crazy ass moment. Now,
I agree with that because I fell asleep on the chamber match, but I woke up it happened. But today, and I also went back because I never do this. I watched the post show, and Triple H even said at that end, he told everybody, "Hey, you guys fall back. I got control of this." When the whole thing with Rock out, so because he wanted it to be, he didn't want anybody else to know. He only wanted that small circle to know what was going to happen.
Of course.
So so that does make sense that they would throw something out like that to throw people off.
Well, and they've been really good about keeping it very close to the vest for a long time since Triple H took over. No doubt about it. But still kind of threw me off. And so I want to make sure everybody knows Tino was right.
All right,
there
you're forgiven now. Because I was going to cuss your ass out when we got on the show tonight. You don't
know. No, my point and what I wanted to do tonight was sit there and give you that.
No,
because I knew that you were already angry. So I wanted to sit there and go, and have you go, son of a bitch.
So now you guys get a glimpse into my life where this motherfucker makes me what my dad used to say, pissed off to the highest of festivity because I was hot, and he knew he did it, and he did it on purpose. That's what he's saying. He did it on purpose.
Oh, I totally did it on purpose, but I did it on purpose because I wanted to give you something.
Okay.
I wanted to sit there and raise you up. I wanted to be that Rafiki holding up.
Shut the hell up.
I wanted to hold Tino up. The circle of.
Shut the hell up.
No. All right. I'm going to stop there with that one. But Tino, I do want to get back to where the show normally goes, and we're already showing the what's up with you icon. So what has been up with you?
Last week, sorry I missed you guys last week. I had the commitment I couldn't get out of. That's what Rob and I were talking on the phone for 30 minutes of. I tried, but I couldn't get out of it. So I'm like, well, something I had to do it was work related. So, you can't really, if the big boss says go, you got to go. So I did that. Let's see. And then Friday, I just needed, last week was so crazy and hectic. And I knew this week was going to be crazy and, start off crazy and hectic. I took Friday off. And I knew I was going to Hickory. This was my Hickory weekend. So I was able to take Friday off. I went to Nicole's school. They did a living museum where, it was for Black History Month. So they were telling different, they had little pictures and little cards. It was cute. Third grade, they were, reading off the little history of Apex and all this other stuff. So all the third grade classes. So I got to walk around and do that. And then went and had lunch with her. And then I hit the road and, went on down to Hickory. So I was able to take my time to get down there. And then did my thing in Hickory Friday night and Saturday night, came back Sunday and watched Collision and I watched the pay-per-view. And that was my day, just chilling when I got home, just relaxing, watching wrestling, and so it was pretty peaceful. And then got back today, and I knew it was going to be crazy, and it was. And got out of my class late tonight, and but back in the swing of things, as they say. So
I'm gonna be honest with everybody. Tino says that he was late getting out to this, and I legitimately thought that he was still mad at me and did not want to do the show.
no, I still would have done the show. I just would have cussed you out on the show. If I'm able to be here, I'm here. Good mood. And sometimes I get on here and I'm had a long day and I'm pissed off. And once we start going, I'm good. But
people don't realize that we have been doing the show for 7 years.
I think I saw something on my the time hop, the first show we did, and it was 8 years ago. Because I was saying, hey, come check out. We're moving to.
Well, now remember, we started as a podcast
on Apple,
but I think 7 years ago we actually moved just to YouTube.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
But yeah, think about that, folks. You're talking, and in that entire time, we've probably missed 12 weeks.
Yeah, you on vacation, I'm on vacation. Life happens, but 9 times out of 10, we are here each and every week. We've changed nights. We started out Thursday. Was it Thursday?
And who knows? We may end up moving nights again, but right now, Monday night's been good for us. But yeah, think about that. 8 years. And it's probably been even longer than that when you consider the fact that we were actually doing a podcast before we moved to YouTube.
Guys, it was weird because before we were able to do this, when we were doing the podcast, what we'd do is I would have to record my part. So if you didn't know what was going on, all you heard me doing was talking because I was answering Rob. So if my wife came in, it looked like I was talking to myself because I was answering Rob, and Rob would
because you were
it all together. Yeah,
because Rob
was on the other side, right? But she couldn't hear Rob's part; she can only hear my part. And so and then he would splice all that together, and we put it up on iTunes, and that's how we would do the show. We were on iTunes forever, and then I don't know what made us decide to come to YouTube.
I said to you one day, I said, hey, us going to YouTube is going to be free. And you said, oh, well, shit, let's do that. and it's not free. We still pay, on average, we pay about $45 a month to sit there and between the two of us have these conversations, have different guests on from time to time, and I would really think and I would really like to see us actually move more guests onto the show on a weekly or monthly basis, and I think we can now because I think there are a bunch of us. Tino just sent me the money that he owed me.
You reminded me. I'm like, oh, shit.
Literally, my watch just went. Bzz, bzz, bzz. No, but seriously,
because we talked about it last week. No, we talked about it last week. I'm like, Rob, remind me I get paid Friday, and he didn't. And so when he said that, I'm like, oh shit.
but seriously, between the two of us, we obviously love talking pro wrestling. We obviously love talking to each other. We obviously also love talking and allowing other people into our conversations because like Chris Barrett, Michael Turner, everybody else, people like Shane, Billy Parker, whoever aren't actually like chiming in, but have messaged me after the fact to sit there and say that you are part of our conversation. I totally get it. The idea though is that like Tino and I, we have this conversation where the two of us, like he wasn't on the show last week, and yet the entire conversation that him and I had could have been a show. if we were still doing a podcast. It just wasn't feasible because we don't do it as a podcast anymore. But
and even our text. I mean, trust me, guys, when we're not on this thing, when I tell you Rob and I talk at least once a day, and that's what we talk more than that, but at least once a day, whether it's a text, whether he's sending me buttloads of TikToks and Instagram videos.
Well, back and forth. Don't just say it's me. It's you two. Don't asshole. Don't sit there and say.
But that's the thing. And so I think that's one of the things that we've talked about. I think we've talked about it on the show too, is this segment, right? So this is just us, man. And what you see here is what you would see in the living room. If he pisses me up, just like you guys will see me go the fuck off. And that's not for show. That's if we're sitting on the couch and I'll tell him. He knows when he pisses me off because I'll cuss him out. And he'll be like, wait, calm down. He's like, what I'm trying to say.
All of a sudden he goes off screen and it's because he dropped off. But
it's real. I think that's what it is. This is really us. It's not a persona. It's not like, when Stone Cold said it's our personalities by 10. No, what you see here is what you would see of me and Rob at a bar, me and Rob sitting in the living room watching wrestling. This is what we did.
We might be ramped up by 5. I don't know. We there are definitely moments. Like, for example, Tino, you weren't here last week. Last week, I got 2 people to message me off air. Okay, one of them sat there and said, "You cuss a lot," and I said, the "What's up with you" segment and everything else, I really didn't cuss, but when I started talking about AEW wrestling. And I started talking about like when I went because last week I went almost 2 hours by myself, and yes, I cussed a lot. I really did. I sat there and I broke down AEW wrestling, what I hated about it, what I loved about it, because there are things I like about it. I don't think anybody realizes that. And I really want to talk about what I liked about it this week. But I already told Tino this week might be long because we ended up having the craziest moment in pro wrestling history since at least Seth Rollins turning on the Shield. Am I right?
Yes.
And maybe the biggest moment in pro wrestling since Hulk Hogan joined the NWO. And it depends on how they run it. But between the two of those, it's in between that, right? Okay.
Yeah. Totally.
But otherwise, I mean, like everything else that we normally talk about and everything else, it's like, whatever. So, Tino, we haven't even talked about what's up with you. You were gone last week. What's up with you?
I just said it.
No. No, yes, but
no, but yes.
No. But I mean the other stuff, the things that we haven't talked about, like obviously we know why you weren't here last Monday, but what's going on this week? We didn't talk about any of that.
We did. Remember, I said I took Friday off. I went to Hickory, came home, watched the wrestling Sunday. Yeah, I went in our whole spiel.
I don't remember any of that. I'm kidding.
And like I said, other than that, man, just that's about it. Like I said, just life, playing music, trying to get some more gigs lined up, and because it's warming up, so people are starting to call and email, so getting them kind of happy about that. But like I said, just living life, man.
Awesome. So from my end,
you went to South Carolina. How'd that go?
Well, I helped take care of my dad for the 4 days that I was down there, and I won't really go into that, but it was fine. You know, and I know that like every time I bring like that kind of stuff up, everybody wants like a story. Uh, my dad it does what my dad does, so it's tough to sit there and want to sit there and break it all down.
Yeah.
The idea is that my dad um basically needs like so I went down there to help my sister because my brother-in-law was like, I'm not really dealing with that.
Because last time you went down there, your sister and your mom went on a trip. That's why you had Shane. And
Correct.
I thought they left again. And so you
Well,
guys got him again.
so the last time it was my sister and my mom went on a trip. This time it was just my mom went on the trip, and my sister said that she would help my dad do what he needed to. So my brother-in-law was like, "Oh, I'm not doing any of this time." And he's probably going to hate me for this because, by the way, he watches the show after the fact. But here's the thing. He was doing everything he was supposed to do. And I went down there and did the same thing I did when I helped him, which was if they needed me to lift him, I lifted him. If they needed me to move him, I moved him. If they needed me to do so, the big thing about it is that we learned that my dad, who already struggles with a bunch of stuff, I mean, like he literally can't move himself around or anything else, that he has this issue where he truly gives, he basically says, thank you, Shane, or thank you, Rob, when my sister did all the work. And he doesn't.
Shorty wasn't digging that.
And she hates it.
Yeah,
and by the way, she should, because she's doing all the work.
Yeah.
When she goes, Rob, come here real quick, and I go, okay, and she goes, hey, I need you to lift him up. I just go, hoop, and I move him and I put him where she wants, and he's where he's supposed to be. And she goes, okay, now he's there. Now I need it, like Dad, I need you to do that, and he goes, yes, dear. And she hates that. She just wants to be called by her name. And I get it, because his yes, dear is totally.
She said, call me Shorty, damn it.
If he were to say yes, Shorty, she would be 100% okay with everything that he ever says. But the fact that he says yes, dear, she sits there, and I'm not even saying blows the gasket. I'm saying like the entire roof blows off the house.
I get it.
But you understand.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's because she's not being respected by him.
Exactly.
And
kind of demean and condescending. It's talking down to
yeah. And there were moments where I sat there and she would say, why are you talking to me that way? And he wouldn't even acknowledge her. And all of a sudden I would look down and I'd be like, why aren't you talking? Why aren't you explaining to her? And he'd go, oh, sorry. And then he would sit there and start, and I'd be like, don't be sorry to me. Like, she's the one running everything. Like, I'm her second in command here. You know, you go ahead and explain everything. And it was interesting. It was eye-opening too. Like I love my dad, you know, but he hasn't. I mean, 30 years he's in this situation, and picking him up, throwing him into bed, doing these things. Like it's. If no one's ever done it, they don't really understand it. And my mom does this on a daily basis. And I've already said my mom's the strongest person I've ever met. But dude, when I was there 4 days. My mom does this every day of the year, except for like the 3 weeks that she sits there and goes on these trips. You know what I mean?
I get, because my grandmother, she's 92 now. I think she's getting dementia, and my uncle lives with her, so I'm going there and helping him pick her up. I get it, moving her around, and she don't want to go where you want her to go all the time, so you got to guide her back. And then if she don't want to get picked up, it's kind of like a child. They'll do that dead weight thing on you. So you like, stop it.
Well, my dad absolutely does the dead weight thing, but my dad really does the thing where he just decides I'm not gonna use the restroom for like 3 days, and
I don't
then
think she's gotten there yet.
And then when he does, it's like a fountain, you know. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
A couple of the things that you know, like getting off that subject. I received my copies of Die Hard #2. They were supposed to be out in stores like 2 weeks ago, but because of Diamond Distribution, they screwed it up and they pushed it out now, which means in the next 10 days or so, it'll be in stores. But #3, today is the very last day that people can go into their comic book shop and actually order #3.
I can't believe #3 already.
But
it's weird to me because it seems like yesterday you're like, "Hey, I got this idea," and now we're already at #3. It's just weird. Same thing with junior high horrors. It was like one day you thought it up. Next thing I know, it's like, okay, it's over. I'm like, you just started it.
Yeah, and it took all the way to Zor #2 before Tino was actually in a comic book,
and that was by accident.
Well, yeah, you're 100% right, but
I think it's funny the way it's by accident. But like, I don't even think I've ever met the artist, and he drew it. I'm like, you said, doesn't he look like you too? I'm like, yeah, and I was joking, so you should name him Tino. So next thing I know, it's like, hey, Tino the plumber.
The craziest part about Zor #2 was that I told Michael I wanted him to create a character that looked like a African American Mario. And all of a sudden, I see the images, and I'm like, oh shit. And he's like, what are you talking about? And I said, dude, my YouTube partner looks just like that guy, except now he's got a full beard. But he had a mustache for so long. And he goes, so what do you say? And I was like, can we change his name to Tino? And he goes, yeah, that won't be a problem. And then you became the character in that moment.
If you guys get a chance to get #2, and I think I got #2 from you just for that. But I know I got 1. I know I got 2 because 2 had me in it. I was showing Nicole. She's like, the fuck?
She's like, that really is him. #3 has you as well, by the way. #3.
Seriously, I get 3.
Obviously. But yeah,
it's just awesome.
It's one of those crazy moments where like, and all I did was say, hey, I want it to be like Mario, but I want it to be diverse. It's what I said. And all of a sudden he comes back with this black Mario character with the mustache. And I'm like, holy shit, that's Tino.
And he's bigger too. I was like, yeah, that's me.
I literally was like, that. Hey, I hate to say this, but can we change his name? Because there was I don't even remember what the name I originally wrote was, but all of a sudden I saw him and I was like, can we change the name because it makes sense. And
now, Chris Barrett, not that he said Tino might be entitled for some compensation. I don't even want payment. I said if it ever gets made into like a cartoon, I just want a voice that character. That's all the payment I need. If you let me voice the character, I'll be good. I don't even want money. I just
So
want to voice the
honestly,
character.
and I've even told Tino, I was like, Tino obviously has enough work on the microphone to where we would find something for him. I don't know if it would be the Tino character, but I would think it might be.
Like I said, this is cool. This is cool to be in the thing. Credit.
But yeah, that always made me laugh and trip.
It still makes me laugh.
I mean, it was the craziest part about that was that you had no idea that character was going to look anything like that. I had no idea that the character, and then when it did, I was like, Tino, this character looks like you, and you're like, oh shit, can his name be Tino? And I'm like, I already asked. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna be in a comic. That's
exactly.
I get the big kick out of that.
I'm like, I've only been in one comic. I've been in the Junior High Horrors Karate Kai issue, where myself and Eric Kent, who are the writer and artist of it, we were the commentary team for when the Junior High Horrors kids were actually learning karate. That's the only time we've ever been in the comics. But we've been in the comics.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, and we've been in the comics. So that always made me laugh. Have you been keeping an eye on the chat, Tino?
Yeah, I'm looking. Michael Turner said he'll get his issue 2 and 3 when he sees you again. Barrett said that's when he said I might be entitled for some compensation, and then he said Tino would have to be credited as himself on the cartoon.
Honestly, it would be something where I would think that Tino would be credited as Tino the plumber, and it would then say Tino the plumber was played by Tino Gray.
Tino Gray.
That's just how I would expect it to be shown. But I mean that's just my assumption.
We need to get this thing made into a cartoon. We get a cartoon series, and I get some work too.
Trust me. The plan is to sit there and see what we can do. I'm not even saying a series when it comes to Zor. Zor, I thought, should actually be its own like Pixar movie or like Blue Sky.
I was kind of disappointed that the whole, because I thought Junior High Horrors, and I get with the copyright and all that stuff, but I think that would be a perfect little series if you could get around that. You know what I mean?
No, hey, you're not saying anything that would be against what I feel there, right? Yeah. I mean, honestly, the idea there is that Junior High Horrors is characters that look like your favorite horror characters that are that while they look like them, they are different people. Mm-hmm. And in a lot of cases, that's enough to sit there and get it moving along. So who knows? We might see something. It's going to be interesting, but there's plenty of new stories coming, plenty of new ideas going along, and in fact, I think it's probably time for us to sit there and move on. We've obviously been doing this for about 45 minutes now.
Let's get into what we want. Let's get into what we want. Oh, I think one thing, and probably when we'll touch the NXT, I do want to talk about that one part where I text you and I'm like, we're both going to hell. So it's because we talked about, so I want to get.
We'll talk about that in a minute, because I don't know if you've noticed how many text messages I've sent you that had his messages included that basically said that he's okay with having all of those messages sent. But before we get there, let's talk about what TV shows are you watching, Tino?
Not necessarily TV shows. I went back and I watched, because I hadn't seen it. It was on Netflix now, the new Venom movie.
Okay.
I thought that was pretty good. It was.
So the third one.
Was it the Last Dance, the one that just came out?
Yeah.
So I meant to message you and told you I watched that. I didn't get I missed Tracker and Watson this week, so that we're going to get into that. But yeah, just been doing a lot of. I hadn't really had a chance to watch a lot of TV because work's been super crazy. And so between work and watching wrestling, I hadn't really had a chance to watch real other shows and trying to keep up with this with wrestling so we can do this. But I think I'm caught up on Found, and I think I'm kind of up on Irrational. I think I am caught up.
Okay. So I am caught up on Irrational and Found. I am also caught up on both Law and Order and Law and Order SVU. Found out this week that Law and Order Organized Crime, which is the one that has Stabler in it, won't be back until mid-April, which I find kind of weird.
Mid-April.
Their plan is to drop that one weekly at that point, which is weird, which is even weirder because you're going to have SVU and regular Law and Order almost done by the time that even starts. And recently they've had some crossover stuff, and now it looks like they're not going to do any of that. Caught up on Reacher, which has been excellent. I don't know if you watched Reacher season 2 on Prime. Reacher season 2 on Prime felt like it was written by AI. It felt like garbage. I hated it.
I watched Matlock Barrett. Sorry.
You watched Matlock?
Yeah, but Chris Barrett said no one watching Matlock. Yeah, I watched Thursday. I watched Matlock.
You said you're watching Matlock.
I watched Matlock and I watched the other show, Elspeth. That's good. So I'm caught up on Matlock and Elspeth.
Yeah, not watching either of those. But Reacher on Prime, episode 4 hit. Finally caught up on that today. It is far and away better than season 2. Season 2, I could have understood if Amazon sat there and said, yep, we're not following through. We're not doing any more. Because it literally felt like AI wrote the entire goddamn thing. But season 3 has been excellent. And we got our 4th episode. Also watched Invincible, which has 2 episodes left. That's going to be interesting to see how that finishes up. Have watched Irrational. Have watched Found. Watched all the Law and Orders. Watched Tracker tonight. And also watched, what was the other one on Paramount? What's that? And I watched Watson. All of them are good. Everything has been good. It I wish that there was something where I could go, you can stop watching this.
So
but
check out Michael Turner's question. I think that's a good one because you said when it comes out, you and I are going to go watch it.
I know it's not TV, but what do you think of the movie
Queen of the Ring? Queen of the Ring.
I originally was not interested at all. Gonna be honest. Was not interested at all.
But you
But
text me
both,
and said we have to go watch it when it comes out.
but both WWE and AEW seem to have some sort of feel behind this
Representation.
that they think that people should be ready to watch it. And I absolutely did say to Tino, we need to figure out a weekend to watch this. I'm excited about it. I don't know if I'm as excited about it as I was about the Von Erich movie.
Yeah, we want to watch that too.
And that was phenomenal.
Yes.
Like Oscar worthy, and yet didn't get any Oscar buzz.
Of course not, because it's wrestling. They're not gonna,
Of course. But to me, this one, Emily Bett Rickards, the one that played Felicity on Arrow.
Is that who that is?
Yeah.
Oh wow. I don't know
She's
that's
the
who that
main
was.
character. Seeing her get her comeuppance as like the main star of this is
Definitely wanna check
impressive.
that out.
What's up?
I said definitely want to check that out now. I didn't realize that's who that was.
Yeah, Emily Bett Rickards. But on top of that, knowing that Tony Storm, there was like 5 different major women wrestlers that were actually included in this, and then a couple male wrestlers. I was blown away by it. Yeah, and absolutely, like I told Tino, we need to go see this. So if anybody knows when exactly it's supposed to be in theaters,
Turner just said March 7th.
So that means
That's
you and I probably need to go see it Thursday. If you have Thursday available.
I have to go check that out. I can't believe it. That doesn't even look like a damn. She's put on muscle and everything. Damn.
I mean, just the fact that she was Oliver Queen's wife, and all of a sudden now she's the one beating people up. You know, like it's kind of crazy. Only real TV I watch these days is NASCAR and wrestling. Okay. Tino, let's move on because obviously we've already been on here almost an hour.
Yeah, let's do it. Oh, okay. So I was looking up just some of the people in that real quick. Tyler Posey, who you might recognize from Teen Wolf, MTV Teen Wolf. You got, so wrestler wise, we have Camille, Tony Storm, Trinity Fatu, otherwise known as Naomi.
Naomi, yep.
Martin Cove's in it.
Oh,
Britt Baker, James Cornette, James Z's in it.
So Jim Cornette.
Yeah. So there's a couple. So there's a couple, like you said. There are a few real wrestlers in this. So there you go.
And the Martin Cove thing. I mean, like I don't know if you watched the rest of Cobra Kai.
Yeah.
What you think?
77.
We really didn't talk about Cobra Kai
because I hadn't watched it.
But you did now. But you did now.
Oh, I still haven't watched it now.
Oh, man.
All right. So, yeah, let's get on because you keep tipping that bottle up. We're going to be here for a minute. That's about the third time you've tipped that fucking bottle. So
it is, but I've been tipping slow. Let's go ahead. What do you want to talk about? Because Raw, I don't think we need to talk about.
The only thing I really want to talk about on Tuesday night
NXT
is NXT. So Rob had made a comment, and we both had, because Rob's like,
I made
about Miles Bourne, saying we like, does he have a speech impediment? Because it was something he was sounding weird, right? And so I'm like, nah, I don't know what it is. We kind of let it go. Then I was watching NXT, this past week because Miles Bourne and his partner in the No Quarter Catch crew had challenged the Hardys.
Hold on. Explain who Miles Bourne is. He's part of the No Quarter Catch.
No Quarter Catch crew. So it's Miles Bourne. I can't remember the other dude's name, and Charlie Dempsey. So
now that they know who he's part of, they know who he is.
Yeah. So give me a minute. So Rob was like, they did the week before, they did a promo challenging the Hardy Boys, and they let Miles Bourne talk. Now he's the bald, big jack dude, white dude, and he sounded like he had a speech impediment. We're like, what the hell is going on? So I'm like, okay, it's a speech impediment. So this past week, fast forward, they're facing the Hardy Boys. So No Quarter Catch crew was out already, and the Hardys came out, and the pyro and the pop they got, they were like, it was so loud, even Miles Bourne heard it. And Booker T said, "You're wrong for that." I'm like, wait, what the fuck does that mean? And I did Wikipedia. Yeah, Miles Bourne is deaf. So I was like, and I immediately text Rob, I'm like, we're going to hell for making fun of the way he talked. But we didn't know. We didn't know he was deaf. We're like, yeah, we're going to hell.
Not only did we not know that he was deaf, but we also didn't know that he had a sense of humor. Because this son of a bitch sits there, and every time something comes out, like, people are sitting there saying, dude looks like Randy Orton. And all of a sudden, he replies, no way am I like Randy Orton, because Randy Orton hears voices in his head, and I don't hear shit.
I didn't see that. That is hilarious.
There was another one where it said,
that's funny.
Where it said,
at least he's got a sense of humor about it, though. At least,
yeah, but that's just it. Is like, and I don't even remember what one about The Rock was, but dude gets it. Right? And by the way, the fact that he is actually like humorous about it has people sitting there getting behind him.
Mm-hmm.
So no reason why we shouldn't sit there and be like, good on him.
And ladies and gents, some of we have ladies in the audience. I'm not making fun because I am. When I was a baby, I had spinal meningitis. I think I've told Rob a couple of times. My left ear, so I'm going deaf gradually, but my left ear, I don't hear so well out of my left ear. So, and as I get older, it gets worse and worse, right? So, but I'm eventually probably going to have to get hearing aids. I'm fighting that till the end of time. But, so, hey, so if you got a good sense of humor about it, man, it's okay. Like, we were in that cafeteria. I went in Nicole's school, and all that noise was going on with the cafeteria, and the kids like, ah, la, 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 la. And then the kids, they want to read like this. And I'm like leaning in. So if somebody would come in like, hey, why's that big bald man in the white kid's face? I'm like, because I'm trying to hear. I'm not trying to be in this personal space. I can't hear him.
But Tino actually said to me, he goes, we're both going to hell. Because 2 weeks ago, I sat there and I said, I don't understand why I can't understand what he's saying. Mm-hmm. And credit to Shawn Michaels and NXT, straight up, kid's a good wrestler. But on top of that, they're actually trying to have him appeal to a bigger audience.
Mm-hmm. And you're right, Baird. He does have hearing aids because he was a high school wrestler, and his I was reading on Wikipedia, he had the hearing aids he had were kind of like radio, so he could hear his coach. His coach was coaching him while he was out there doing his thing. So he still does have hearing aids. So yes,
he does, but he already knows that like his speech is going to be impacted. And again, credit to Shawn Michaels and the rest of the crowd that instead of forcing like Charlie Dempsey to be the one to sit there and give that speech, it was him. And I'm, you know what? I may make fun of it in the moment, but it's time
Well, we didn't know though. That's the thing though. We didn't know.
We didn't, and we also sat there and said, I don't know what's going on, like what's up with him. But even still, I'm okay with him giving those moments now that we know what's going on. But also, like, I'm okay with me not necessarily understanding everything because I'm not sitting there in the audience. Now, granted, there's been a couple times now where certain wrestlers, I almost think that they should do subtitles, like Shinsuke Nakamura or Io Sky, or there's even been once or twice on AEW television, and I'm sitting there going, why don't I know what's going on? Whatever. But the fact that they sit there and they want you to hear him.
No, they're trying to be fair. You know, they want to give him a chance to get himself over, and I totally agree with that. And I totally think that that's awesome. They're giving him that chance, just like to give anybody else a chance.
Agreed 100%.
All right, so that's all I want to. That's what I want to say about NXT. Dynamite. See, it's all running together.
Hold on, I'm looking for my banners.
I don't know if there's much about Dynamite really, because really Raw and SmackDown I think were really just kind of leading in to the pay-per-view, which is where I think we spend bulk of our time. So I'm trying to think of
honestly, I know that there was like 2 or 3 things that I really wanted to break down from Dynamite, and I didn't write them down.
Oh shit! Okay.
And what that means is that we should probably move on. But I do want to say, collision-wise, they did have the moment where Toni Storm
I was going to ask you what you thought about that.
Explained what kind of match she's going to have against Mariah May at the next pay-per-view, which is Revolution.
It's next Sunday. This Sunday.
Yeah. And if you want to come over, you're more welcome to. Toni Storm gave an amazing moment sitting there saying that she's like ready for this. And it was we don't need countouts. We don't need rope breaks. And she said one of them, she was like, piss off. I think it was rope breaks, piss off.
Yeah.
Because it's a falls
Hollywood.
count anywhere match.
Yeah. And
it may be, I don't even know, besides those arena matches, this may be the first ever falls count anywhere match in AEW history.
Was the Brit and Thunder Rosa falls count anywhere, or that was just a
lights out match.
Okay.
So that was a didn't count match.
You might be right. Yeah, you might be right.
And honest to God, I want to see what these two women are going to do to each other.
Well, see, and here's the thing: when you were like, you didn't really like that Toni Storm won that match, and you didn't know what they were going to do with Mariah May, and I said, wait, because I'm sure they're gonna, and they did. They had Mariah snap, and now they're making it bigger. So this is going to be, like you said, not only the first ever. Think about it, that's the first ever Falls Count Anywhere's match, and it's a women's match. So think how big that is, right? So,
well, AEW hasn't said that it's the first ever Falls Count Anywhere match.
I don't think they've done it yet. I think you're right. I don't think they've done it in AEW.
There might have been one.
I don't think
But
so.
even if there was, the fact that nobody is saying anything about it, I would say this is the first ever. Because then you have even more people wanting to watch it. You know what I mean?
And I'm curious to see what they're going to do, man.
I mean, that's my feelings towards it.
Okay. All right.
All right. So.
Yes. Now, well, there's a couple things.
Hold on, I got other things.
Because one thing,
let's do this first.
I think the only thing I like about this so far is when Adam came out. I don't know if it was I think it was this week or last week. Because, like I said, my week's running together now. And it might have been last week because I didn't get a chance to talk about it. Adam came out to the Death Riders, and he jumped in the ring, and Switchblade came out, and then Marina Shafir stuck her nose in it, and Adam couldn't do anything to her, and then all of a sudden, what's her name's music came on? Willow's music. So remember, I kept saying, "Is it going to be Beth? Is it going to be Beth?" I didn't even think about Willow because, again, and she even said in the promo Saturday, everybody's, she's always the smiling and the happy, and what happens when that goes away? And she said Marina Shafir found out. I'm like, oh shit, oh shit.
So my question to you here is, did Tony Khan not get the job done when it came to Beth Phoenix?
What do you mean?
Well, was he not able to get her signed? Because we all know that moment would have been the best possible moment for Beth Phoenix to make an appearance, right?
Or she might not have been interested.
Well, and that's my other question. Is she not wanting to do it? And by the way, Beth Phoenix staying home with her two daughters, and Adam Cope staying wrestling totally makes sense to me. But
if they did a show in Asheville, like if the pay-per-view was in Asheville,
well, they did a show in Asheville.
Well, I'm talking about this if they made like the championship match was in Asheville, right? And then Marina came out. Then Beth came out. I think if Beth came out like a one-off, kind of like that, it might have worked. But if she's coming out every week, it'll wear out, right? So you just want that one and done pop, or you think that every week her coming to defend her man, what would you rather see? You know what I mean?
I mean, it's interesting to even think about. In fact, I'm going to sit there and say, hey, crowd that's watching us talking right now, go ahead, pop something in the comments. Because we haven't asked them to do so. Obviously, those that always do. Thank you, Chris Barrett. Thank you, Michael Turner. Whatever. But it surprises me.
I think, and Barrett he popped in. He said, I don't think she wants to. I think Beth Phoenix just wants to enjoy retirement right now. And that could be it, too.
I don't know if she wants to enjoy retirement more than she's not ready to sit there and have her daughters sit there and be taking care of themselves. I don't know what the deal is. I don't know what's going on. But one of those moments.
I'm still listening. Let the dog in. She's out there carrying on.
What now?
I'm letting my dog in. She's out here barking.
Dog wants to be part of the conversation. I can't help it, man. We got a lot going on.
Come on. You're gonna be out there all night. Get in the house. Come on.
So I left a spot on here for the best spot for Harley Cameron.
Did you see her interaction with Tony and the broadcast team on Saturday? That was hilarious too. They were like, "Well, what is my new finishing move?" And they're like, "The name of the finishing move is finishing move." I'm like, "That's so stupid."
I gotta tell you right now, the best spot for Harley Cameron is exactly what I told you 2 weeks ago. Just creating a midpoint spot for her where she comes out every week at the midpoint.
Oh, he does a rock concert.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, what's that going to do? Is that going to hurt anything? No, it's going to make people realize that at that 1.5 hour, like if it's the 1 hour mark, people are going to want to watch that 1 hour mark if it's what they're there for.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, there's no reason not to do it. I mean, her guitar sits there and says, "Halftime Harley." Give her the halftime show. And a couple weeks into it, have someone else randomly go, "I'm tired of this. I want to and just cause chaos," which gives them a match.
Okay.
Makes sense, right?
Makes sense.
Okay.
All right, let's get to what we came here for.
I'm trying to find it.
Are you changing the logos? That's because it wasn't that one a minute ago.
Oh, you don't like that one?
No, I'm just saying it wasn't that one a minute ago. Are you changing them as we go?
I changed it about 20 minutes ago.
We got to start at the beginning. No, because something very important happened in that first match. The women's Royal Rumble. I'm that women's Elimination Chamber. You don't have that up there?
There you go. How's that?
Everybody was in. The match hadn't even started. You got the match starting with Liv and Naomi. And as soon as the bell, I don't think the bell even rang yet. You hear Jade's music. And Jade comes down. And Liv, everybody knew Liv was about to get her ass kicked, even Liv, because her facial expression, she's like, and scared, like, okay, maybe Liv did have something to do with it. And she went to Liv, and then she turned and beat the brakes and dog walked Naomi all around that chamber. And
the dog walking statement was absolutely used multiple times. The interesting thing about it was that Naomi was in the corner and Liv was in the middle of the ring. And Jade Cargill got into that, and the whole time Liv Morgan was like,
yeah. And
then she sits there and like right off and beelines to Naomi. And the thing that was interesting to me about this was that it was a And nobody was any the wiser. Nobody.
Mm-hmm.
Not the local fans, not the people that like, not the pundits, nothing. Like nobody. Go ahead.
But here's the thing too. And again, because now everything's on TikTok. There, and I noticed it while it was happening, but I thought I was the only one that noticed it. They cheered when she was getting her ass whipped, and B, as they were rolling her out on the gurney, they were singing "Na na na na." The whole crowd was like they were happy about it. I'm like, the fuck. So is Naomi the bad guy? Were they like, yeah, bitch, you got what you deserved, or you know what I mean? Or and Barrett said he thinks no, Michael Turner. Ooh, Turner's got a hot take. He says Naomi and Belair were both in on it. But Belair was in the ring when it happened, right? So do you think she had Naomi? She knew Naomi did it?
This is where I think that the storyline and everything else really plays in. Is that Belair is meant to be the babyface. So I think that everything we saw leads into Belair going against Rhea Ripley, but I don't know. Tonight, Rhea Ripley is supposed to go against Io Sky.
She's not going to win that. And I think that Belair wins that belt, and I think her and Jade battle over it.
Okay.
Chris Bear said Bianca did it for The Rock.
Well, we know John Cena did it for The Rock.
And Michael Turner said that Bianca knew the whole time. That's why she played it up.
All right.
All right, we'll see. Are we done with the damn pay-per-view that quick?
No. We haven't even gotten to the
We were just talking about the fucking women's chamber match. We were talking about the paper. Stop drinking.
Well, this was This was Thursday. This wasn't even Saturday.
Okay. All right.
What do you think?
Why do I care about it? I didn't.
The fact that everybody was saying that he was signed with AEW to be part of Ring of Honor. And now he's signed to TI.
Okay.
All right. Let's talk about the real shit. Let's talk about the real.
Did you think that was going to end differently?
Did I think that Sammy was going to win? Is that what you're asking?
Mm-hmm.
No. Am I happy with the ending? Yeah. Like, everything that happened in this match was something that, like, I 100% was like, these guys are really doing everything they can to make sure that they are the main event.
Mm-hmm.
The surprising thing, Tino, and you weren't here last week, so you know that there was worry that at least Kevin Owens was not going to sign a new contract. And
he signed one after the Rumble, didn't he?
He did. But then it became worrisome that Sami Zayn did not sign a new contract. And as of now, Sami Zayn has now signed, to my knowledge, has signed a new contract with WWE. And
was there doubt?
what's that?
Was there doubt? You know he was signed. He's not going anywhere.
There's always doubt because anybody that sits there and lets their contract run out can sit there and go, "Hey, Tony Khan, what are you gonna offer me?" You know what I mean? The difference, though, is that guys like Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens are literally going to get the same dollar amount per year as the top guys in the industry. It's just not sure whether or not they're ever going to win the top title. Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So I really do think Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn both signed new contracts just recently. I know that Kevin Owens did, but Sami Zayn even said something about his contract where he said he doesn't like talking about his contract negotiations, but said that he's happy where he is. So I assume that they both signed, although right now I kind of assume Sami Zayn is going to be off of WrestleMania.
Possibly. Michael Turner said he didn't see Randy coming back at all in this, and we kind of figured this is where he would come back. And I knew when he beat Sammy down, and then when he came back and pulled that mat up, Randy was coming to stop it.
Yeah, and 100%. Like, Randy had been gone. He wasn't at the Royal Rumble. You know what was surprising to me is the fact that, like, the last two, if not the last three PLEs, Gunther has not been on any of them. And as somebody who should be looking at like the top people to be putting on these, it really shocks me to not see Gunther on any of the last three PLEs. Now, he was on Saturday Night's Main Event, don't get me wrong, but he hasn't been on the PLEs. Royal Rumble, Elimination Chamber, he's not wrestling.
Well, the Elimination Chamber really didn't have anything to do with him. We already know that Jey Uso's fighting him at Royal Rumble. The only reason Cody Rhodes is on there because whoever won the Elimination Chamber was going to be fighting him. So I understand why he wasn't on this one. The Royal Rumble, I don't get.
Well, my point is that, like, sure, you have 6 people trying to determine who's going to wrestle you. But in the past, it's been 6 people to determine who's going to wrestle you, and you're wrestling this guy. And this time it wasn't. This time, and it's literally like, why do we even care about Gunther? Because Gunther's not been on Royal Rumble. He's not been on Elimination Chamber. Like, where the fuck is Gunther? Like, literally, the last match he's had was Akira Tozawa. Do I give a shit about that? No. Anyways, that really kind of irritated me with that. Sorry, trying to figure out.
Let's see. So we got the Trishy match, the Trishy and Tiffy match. What'd you think of that?
Did I put that on one of the?
I don't think so. I was trying to remember all the matches that went down.
Yeah, so let's talk about it. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just saying what you think about it. I mean, it is what it is. I think they had to. I knew they weren't going to lose because they were in Trish Stratus' hometown, and B, we got to keep the champion strong. I was surprised that Charlotte Flair didn't come down.
The number one thing that I feel about this match is that Trish is in her 25th year.
Mm-hmm.
And at Royal Rumble, she was number 25. So they started the 25th anniversary of Trish Stratus properly, giving her the number 25 spot of the Royal Rumble. Have they mentioned that? No, because they're idiots.
Well, no, you can't, because if it's supposed to be random, we can't say, oh, but we specifically gave her number 25.
Isn't this surprising that the number 25 spot on the 25th anniversary of Trish Stratus happened?
Then you're drawing attention to it and making it too obvious, and then it's like you planned it.
Okay. They go to Trish Stratus's hometown.
Mm-hmm.
And
it's the little things. You see the jersey.
Do,
you see the jersey she had? It was 25. The shirt she wore at the thing had a 25.
I did. I was hoping that when Tiffany turned around, it would say like 2. Because Trish was in her 25th year and Tiffany was in like her 2nd or 3rd year. Because they did have matching. They had matching gear.
I don't even remember what number Stratton had.
She didn't have a number.
She did.
Did she?
She did Saturday. She did both nights. I just don't remember what the number was. She had a number on her jersey, and she had a number on the back of her gear at the pay-per-view.
See, I didn't remember a number on the back of the gear on the pay-per-view. And the reason why I say that is because her gear looked very small and didn't look like it had a number on the back of it. It
was her hair was in the way. When she would move, or her hair would get, you could see the number.
Good. I'm okay with that. I really think that like the fact that they look like a team with 2 different numbers is awesome.
And they said they wore the colors of the Canada teams.
The fact that they were color coordinated and everything else, I absolutely loved. I thought that they did a great job with that. In fact, apparently they said, did anybody else notice that most of the baby faces wore white during it?
During the show or during that match?
During the whole show. And it really was that match and the women's elimination chamber match, because if you looked at Bianca Belair, she was wearing a white outfit.
What other the baby faces? There had to be besides her. Bailey didn't wear in white.
Well, no. I meant the baby faces that were winning.
Oh, okay. And was wearing his jorts. I guess he had white sneakers.
Just the women. Just the women.
Okay.
When you got to the men, you wanted to say that Cena was winning wearing white. It's because he took his shirt off and his chest wasn't as good.
Had the white sneakers. His shoes.
Well, maybe. Yeah. Oh my God. You saw the La Greca thing and Tino? You get mad at me about talking about Busted Open, but I want you.
No, I refuse, because they're not paying us. No. When they start paying us, we'll talk about them. But you talk about it all the time for free. I sent that to you just because you watched that damn show and it was funny.
I didn't see any of that because I was out of town.
No, I sent you it was a
I saw it.
The TikTok.
Oh, I thought. I'm just saying I didn't see any of it live or listen to any of it live. And by the way, I listened to the show on my way home. and didn't hear any of that
What? I wonder why.
because I left at 11, got home at
Uh,
3, and that show's on 9 to 12. But, anyways.
yeah. So
All right. I think it's time to
trying to think of
I
we're
think
talking
it's
the main
time to talk about. I think it's
the
time to
men's
talk
rumble.
about- I think it's time to talk about what we
I don't get why Travis Scott was here, but okay. Somebody I was watching TikTok said they think what if Travis Scott comes out with Cena's new interest music? What if they don't, I'm like, that'd be interesting to see. For the first time, Cena not doing his own music. Oh, that's what I wanted to say. I was watching something today, and I don't know if I sent it to you, but it's like some people were upset with Cena turning heel, but they were like, you ever thought about it was like a thank you to the fans, right? Because he's been a face for so long and we've been wanting him to turn heel, and now that he's getting ready to retire, it's like, okay, this is what you want. Thank you. I'm bowing out. And B, because he was the ultra babyface Superman character, is this a way of him passing that torch over to Cody Rhodes? Because right now, Cody is the ultimate babyface, white meat babyface, over the top, good guy.
So I have a couple things here, and
Okay.
I sent one of them to you, and you never replied to it.
I don't. Okay, Rob sends me stuff while I'm working in meetings, and I'm a manager of a whole department now, and he acts like I got time.
Now you're just being mean.
No, I'm being mean.
Now you're just being mean. All right. You want me to explain it to the group?
Yes. Explain it to the group.
To the group.
That's what you said. We were explaining to the group. Yes,
I did say to the group.
I think you're trying to say crowd and group at the same time. It came out.
I was 100%. Which, by the way, I think our new crowd and group should be called the group.
Oh God!
Just saying. But here's the deal.
Call them the potheads.
Just let me explain it. God damn it, man. So here's the deal. The Rock, for the past couple weeks, has been sitting there literally trying to get Cody Rhodes to say, I sell my soul to you, Rock. Right?
Mm-hmm.
We get to the end of Elimination Chamber. John Cena has already won the match. Right? John Cena did not have any offhanded weirdness help besides the Seth Rollins help, where Seth Rollins
curb stomp
CM Punk, John Cena, 1, 2, 3, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Has nothing to do with The Rock or Travis Scott or anybody else, right?
Right.
Cody Rhodes comes out, adrenaline in my soul. Da, 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 Cody Rhodes.
Can I say something? Wait, when you saying that song just reminded me. I was watching some on TikTok. They're like, if The Rock takes his soul, where's adrenaline going to come from?
Somebody said that. Somebody said that.
Oh, that was funny. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Adrenaline in my soul. That just reminded me.
So the adrenaline's in the soul. It's in the middle of the ring. We're sitting there, and it's John Cena, Cody Rhodes, and then The Rock's music hits, and him and Travis Scott come down to the ring. Now, if you saw after the fact, Travis Scott The Rock is like, Travis Scott was asking if he could be part of this, and I said, if you're going to go out there and make it look real, okay, whatever. But
And so he stood in the corner with Sage.
was it Sage or was it Pot? That's what I want to know. They kept saying
it was
Sage
because he was doing all this.
Yeah. They kept
all
saying
over.
Sage. I was waiting for him to go like that. But here's my question. They get to the ring. They're dealing with the entire situation. They ask Cody Rhodes, are you in or are you out? Right? Pretty much. What if Cody Rhodes says yes? If Cody Rhodes said, hold on. If Cody Rhodes says yes, do they beat down John Cena because he's standing in the middle of the ring? Or do they look at him and go, hey John, sorry, we don't need you anymore. Like, based on the way that the whole shit happens, John Cena being in the middle of the ring, if Cody Rhodes says yes, because they gave him a car Friday night, right?
Yeah.
Like, they gave him a car Friday night. The week before that, The Rock is like, I want your soul, Cody Rhodes. You know, like before all of that, they get to this. If Cody Rhodes sits there and says, you know what, Rock? I'm in. John Cena's just standing there. And John Cena's like, well, what about me?
Take your damn ball.
Fucked up.
Take your bald spot.
It's terrible.
Take your bald spot and your orthopedic Skechers and kick Brock's.
And you sent me the busted open video of Dave LaGreca sitting there talking about the kind of shoes that John Cena's wearing. And they're not even orthopedic Skechers. They're some other like 70-year-old man shoes. But dude, seriously, I'm literally going, when I see Cody Rhodes come down to the ring and I see John Cena, I'm like, okay, these two get to have that moment where they both look, they both point at the sign, blah, 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 right?
And they did.
And they did. But then I hear The Rock's music hit. And then I see Travis Scott and The Rock come down to the ring. And the whole time I'm going, okay. So John Cena's turning on the entire WWE universe here. And the whole time I'm sitting there going, it's obvious at this point. And here was the most obvious factor to it, is that when the day started, rumor was Drew McIntyre was winning the Elimination Chamber, right? You saw it. I saw it. I even sent it to you. And then all of a sudden, Drew McIntyre is the first person eliminated from the Elimination Chamber. So, obviously, WWE made sure that whatever was going out to the masses was wrong on purpose. I mean, how often does the first guy eliminated come out there like that?
Mm-hmm.
And in fact, this is what I really wanted to ask you. And I really want your real opinion here, please. Because I'm going to give my real opinion to it. Do you think that going into that Saturday night, John Cena knew he was going to turn heel?
Mm-hmm.
And do you think that that entire plan of John Cena winning the Elimination Chamber and John Cena turning heel was the plan?
Mm-hmm.
Or do you
This is
think,
what
hold on, or do you think that that a week ago when The Rock showed up and he said, I'm doing what The Rock does and I'm fucking up your entire plans for the next 4 months, he sat there and said John Cena is going to go to WrestleMania, face Cody Rhodes, but John Cena is going to be NWO John Cena?
No, I think it was a plan all along for Cena. I think because it's Cena's final, it's his final run in the whole 20 years. He's since he turned face. Let's put it that way. He's never gone back, right? So
right.
I think
was a heel at the beginning.
Yes. So I think is part of his last year. So he wants to give the fans what they want, and B, I think he does want to have a heel run. I also think that they put, because again, and I always say it, I go back to the 5-year-old me. You're gonna have to have a good guy versus the bad guy, right? So they put Drew McIntyre out there because he's a bad guy. Now, I don't know if while he is a good bad guy, I think Cena would be a stronger bad guy, right? Now,
Versus
I don't know, versus Cody. See, they need Cody as that strong baby face, needs a very, very, very strong heel to go against. The only thing I'm worried about is it's kind of that Stone Cold effect, right? So people are cheering Cena now. Are we going to get? Is he going to be strong enough? Or are they still going to be cheering him? Or are they going to boo him like they want him to? Right? If they boo him like he wants, if he can bring that heat and make himself hated, that's what they need for Cody to have a strong heel to go against at WrestleMania. And then he's got 10 more months. So after WrestleMania, he can always go back to being a babyface before he rides off into the sunset, right?
My question to you is, how do you, based on this new regime of Triple H long-term booking, right? How do you take John Cena in his last 10 months, 9 months, and make sure that he leaves Boston in December as a babyface?
Oh, they can always change him back quick. All he's got to do is in Boston. Then they can bring it full circle, right? So he's heel. He defeats Cena. I mean, he defeats Cody, gets the belt, blah 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 blah, and then and they can keep him apart, da 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 da. And at the end of his run, Cena's still the major babyface. He could be in peril. Well, who comes out to save him in Boston? Right, John Cena. So they can bring it back full circle.
Well, I'm almost hoping, and tell me if you think that this is unobtainable. I'm almost hoping that Cena turns on The Rock at WrestleMania and goes back to being a babyface, and Cody beats him.
Here's the thing, though.
You think he's going to get number 17 from this?
I think they're going to get number 17. B, Cody's had that title too long. Remember, while we do want to have a long reign, we don't want to go into a Roman Reigns reign, right? So he's had it since WrestleMania.
We don't want to go into a Roman reign.
Yeah. So he's had it since WrestleMania. So at WrestleMania, he'll have it a year. So he can afford to drop it. It's not like he won't ever get it back, right? So at that year point, he could drop it and always, then it's the chase again. He's chasing to get it back.
No, I get that. And in fact, I'm okay with Cena actually winning the title. My question is, how do we turn Cena, who has been babyface for 25 years, back to babyface before the end?
Like I said,
If,
he comes back and saves a babyface. He comes back. Cody's in peril. Da 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 da. It could be The Rock fucking with him, and that's when Cena could be like, "No, fuck you," and then turn on The Rock. Then, right?
well, I just don't see The Rock being that involved.
Well, or somebody associated with him. You know what I'm saying? Because I think they might build a stable around Cena to help him keep that heel heat.
Well, I think that The Rock is trying to say that there's a third person based on all of the hand gestures and everything.
What do you mean a third person? Because Rock's not going to wrestle, so and Travis Scott damn sure ain't going to wrestle, so it's going to be.
Hold on, that's what I'm saying. Is that originally when The Rock came out at what, Bad Blood? He came out and he did the three fingers, right? When Cena joined him, he did this, and he came back with two fingers, which makes everybody think that's the second part of the program. And they think that there's still one more that's going to happen.
Well, we'll have to wait and see.
It'll be interesting. I don't know. I'm shocked by all of it. You obviously came to me Monday talking about it, and I was like, here's why I don't see it happening. Here's what I actually see happening. And they didn't do any of it. But here's my real question. And Tino, I really want your opinion on this because it boggles my mind. Do you think sorry.
Bless you.
This is easy. Do you think sorry about that. Do you think that what happened at Elimination Chamber was the original plan? Or do you think, like 4 days before it, they had a completely different plan? And the reason why I asked this is because I messaged you when you said I got it right. I said to you, well, rumor was that going into the day, Drew McIntyre was supposed to win this, and this. And this has nothing to do with you calling it, by the way. I don't want you to think.
Oh, yeah, I get it.
Is it possible that The Rock sat there and said, this is how I want it to go?
I don't think so. I think because everybody was expecting, because you even said that, Drew would win and he would be the one to be the one to turn. I think they knew John Cena was winning, so they put that Drew McIntyre thing out there to throw everybody off. I really do. I think it was a red, I don't want to say red herring, but I think they did that. Say, look over here, so they can get you over here.
Did you see that when John Cena actually choked out CM Punk when the referee actually called the match? John Cena actually said, "I'm sorry."
I didn't see that, no.
So John Cena said, "I'm sorry," and then he did
who?
the whole to CM Punk. Because if you noticed, and in fact, okay, so here are some interesting things about this entire situation. John Cena at the Royal Rumble flat out said, I don't need to qualify. I deserve my spot. I've earned my spot. And he got the spot. That sounds like something that someone from the head of the table or the top of the food chain, so The Rock, would be able to offer him, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there we go there. When Seth Rollins actually did the curb stomp to CM Punk, unlike what John Cena would normally do, which is buy time or whatever, he took advantage of it and immediately put him into the hold and got the win. That's a heel move, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then he did not quite the opposite of the salmon jacket, but he was the salmon jacket. Like Cody Rhodes sits there and says, "Go fuck yourself," and John Cena's doing the whole like blah 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 blah. But yeah, this is great. This is great. Turns around, hugs him, looks at The Rock, and gives that mean mug. Like the entire way, it was like we were being told, "Hey, expect this."
Mm-hmm.
Yet we were all hoping that wasn't the case. Does John Cena, based on your opinion right now, does he win at WrestleMania?
Yes.
And what does that do?
It gives him his 17th, his tiebreaker from Ric Flair. And he gets to have the heel run that everybody's wanting him to have for the past 20 years, right? So, it's like I said, it's kind of like giving back to the fans. You guys wanted it. We never gave it to you. This is my last year. You guys have always been good to me, supported me. I'm going to do this for you.
So I asked you a really important question here, Tino. And I asked you just between you and me, but I'm going to ask it on the air right now.
Mm.
John Cena said that this was the C Nation John Cena's last year.
Mm-hmm.
So that's hustle, loyalty, respect, right?
To respect.
Is it possible that this evil John Cena sits there and laughs at his own words and says, hustle, loyalty, respect, John Cena ended in 2025.
Oh.
But this new John Cena, the final boss's bad guy, John Cena, does he have the opportunity to last longer than December?
How much longer too? Because you got to think about it. He's a movie star too, so he's kind of got that same Rock schedule, right? He can't be in there all the time, right? So he's gonna have probably like a Roman schedule where he has, or Brock schedule, so he has dates that he has to hit, and I don't think that'll be the same. You know what I mean?
You know, the interesting so the interesting thing you said there is that John Cena agreed to like 36 dates over the course of 12 months, right? We've seen him twice, maybe 3 times. We've seen him 3 times. So he still has 33 more dates.
He's got to build the WrestleMania.
My point is that what if when he sat there and said the last time you're going to see John Cena was as the hustle, loyalty, respect John Cena? What if they talked him into, hey, what if we go through Mania next year?
And that's where it ran into. Remember, I said, so what do you think, Travis Scott? Like, if they're going to, and that's what I think they are.
Oh,
They're change
that old
Cena.
Travis Scott thing.
Travis
Did
Scott's
you hear
probably
about
good. I think he might be doing. I wouldn't be surprised if he's doing his new theme song. I wouldn't, like I said, that last the I don't know about the, well, I'll be interested if they got rid of the jorts. You know, but that's what you're talking about. The good guy John Cena.
Get rid of the jorts.
But
Dude, he's gonna
thing.
have an entire new wrestling
gear,
mantra.
everything.
It all goes back to what he said on the Van Vliet podcast, right? Like if you want me to be heel, I gotta stop respecting. I gotta stop being loyal. I gotta stop hustling. I gotta not show up when I'm supposed to be there. I gotta do this. And all that still rings true. But we haven't seen it. So we gotta see him not doing the wrestling side. We got to see him being a different wrestler. We got to see him actually going, I don't want to sit there and keep going. I got to sit there and be the back off bullshit bitch.
And that's what I'm saying. I think that started this past week, right? I think that's what his transformation is starting from now. You see what I'm saying? So that was the last time we saw good guy John Cena. So I think the transformation is starting to start now. We'll start seeing that. We'll start seeing probably the new theme music. We'll probably start seeing new ring gear, new attitude.
The next time we see him, he's gonna have new theme music. But we also have to anticipate the new theme music. We can't have it where it's like, oh, he's gonna have a match, and then all of a sudden they're like, boom. Boom, 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 boom. You know, like it's.
I think it's gonna.
Like we have to know it's for him.
I think, and that's going to be. And who's not to say he'll probably will still be doing his theme music with Travis Scott. You know, he might still be doing that, right? But I think this Friday, like you said, it's not going to be a match. I think this Friday, because he didn't explain himself at the post show. He just kind of came on, took the mic off, and mic drop. I think this Friday, when he comes out, that's when we're gonna get the new theme music. I don't
even think it's this week. I think because remember, he flew right back out to like whatever country to go film a movie. I think it's gonna be like April 1st. I think we're gonna wait like 3 weeks before we actually see him. But they've got to do something. Yeah.
I don't know, though. They got to start building up.
But they've got to do something. And you know, like, people are like going, well, why should I give a shit about the fact that Travis Scott did this and this and this? Here's my feelings on this. Okay. And this is like trying to be eye-opening to the rest of the world. Travis Scott doing what he did to Cody Rhodes should get hip-hop websites to sit there and pick it up, right? Okay. But on top of that, all of that stuff could make Hollywood, like anybody in Hollywood, kind of like the NWO, where back in the day, Hollywood Hogan would call up Dennis Rodman, and Dennis Rodman be wearing the black and white colors and be able to show up at the NBA Finals and be playing a game in that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what's to say that they don't sit there and start wearing NWO gear or something else. Because apparently they did just they did just file a new trademark for Break-A-Wish.
Break-A-Wish. Oh God.
And what's stopping them from having Travis Scott sit there and be the first person? But you literally go to another event and you see someone wearing a Break-A-Wish outfit cause a little bit of turmoil, and before you know it, the WWE has all this extra shit going on. Know what I mean?
Yeah.
So why not? Like, WWE is not going to be against it. They just got to plan it out. So that's my feelings on that. But Tino, I go back to the one thing, and I really want your opinion. If Cody Rhodes had said yes, what the fuck happens with John Cena right there?
He's fucked.
How? He signed the deal. Do they all just walk out together? Or does The Rock sit there and go, "Hey John, sorry, bro."
I honestly don't know.
See, that is the problem with the writing of the situation. They all walk out there. John Cena's in the ring. John Cena basically gets told, "Hey, Cody says okay. Fuck you."
Okay.
Am I wrong?
No. That'd be that'd be weird.
So you see where the problem is.
Knuckle turns so they both say yes and a new stable is made.
Yeah, the problem is that they officially announced Cody Rhodes is never going to say okay to The Rock, is what they basically said.
Yeah.
And John Cena had already okayed whatever The Rock wanted. Once again, as a writer, I have a problem with this entire segment because of this. Because The Rock was doing everything to buy Cody Rhodes. But was he buying Cody Rhodes knowing that Cody Rhodes was never going to say yes? Seems, why would you buy a $50,000 truck then?
Oh, because he was trying. He was shooting a shot and trying to, sweeten the pot.
But he got a guy that was worth even more in John Cena. See what I mean?
I don't know. I'm not done. It's been like, 2 hours.
You're like I don't know. Fuck that guy.
It's been 2 hours. I've been up since 5 a.m. I got to get up at 5 a.m. again. My brain's done. It hurts. I'm zoning out.
Did we talk about Sammy and KO?
Yes, we did.
Okay.
We talked about everything on the show.
What's that?
I said we talked about everything that happened on this show. Yeah, we hit it all.
I think we did. All right. Why don't you go ahead and let me figure out the go home.
I am on Blue Sky. I am on the Insta. SC Tino, Snap SC Tino, TikTok. I am Tino R Great Music. We are on Twitter, Potsy and Tino, Facebook, Potsy and Tino Show. We're here each and every week on the Pots and Pan Networks. Please give us a thumbs up, subscribe, like, buy our shit. We want to say thanks to Adam's House Cat for the wrestling song, which you can get on iTunes for the low price of 99 Jones.
99 Jones.
99 Jones. 99 Jones.
Folks, you can find me on everything, either Pochak, Rob Potsy Pochak, or well, I think that's it, actually. Find me on everything at those. With that, 99 Jones.
99.
Some of us are still a little bit weirded out by the fact that John Cena's a heel. We want to see how that goes. I did not expect to see him at Monday Night Raw tonight. Did not hear anything while we were on the air that said that he was part of the program.
No, because Cody's on SmackDown, dude. So it'll be SmackDown.
I don't know, man. I don't know. But I want to thank everybody for being part of the show. As always, it was wonderful. We'll be back next week.
Chris Barrett Jones.
Chris Barrett Jones. Chris Barrett Jones. He even said Chris Barrett Jones himself.
That's right. I read it.
With that, thank you, everybody. We will see you next time. Died Hard #2 in stores soon. Today was the last day to order your copy of #3, and we will see you soon. Good night, everybody.
Ready?
For the Potsy and Tino Show.
Thanks for watching. Everybody wants to be the nature boy, but I am the man of the hour, the tower of power, too sweet to be sour, make you scream, oh, like Jared Flower. There have been many imitations, but only one, nature boy. I am the greatest thing going today. Whether you like it or not, you better learn to love it, because whether you like it or not, I am the greatest of all time. Tony Schiavone, to be the man, you've got to beat the man, and I am the man.